Yeah, Jeff.
I know you guys are not going to take the lead in the second half, but do you think the start of the game, both letting them get some confidence shooting and then turning the ball over, I think 3 consecutive, do you think that sets
6 of the first 19 possessions, we turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, you give any team confidence, let alone one that's really searching for good things to happen. You're asking for trouble. So, I mean, you're not going to have success against anybody if you're turning the ball over given the percentage of possessions that we have. So both those things, I thought we couldn't keep the ball out of the paint. Did a little bit better job in the second half, but when we did get it, we fouled too much to put them at the line and get them to the bonus so quickly. So combination of defensively not getting the ball leveled off and stopped, fouling too much, specifically in the second half, and the turnovers. That's the game right there.
Kind of a big picture question. Everyone knows about the Nebraska loss, but you guys battled Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team I'm thinking everybody agrees you should have beaten. How do you handle this team right now? It's like, you got a veteran team for the most part. What do you do to try to get them back on track psychologically?
Well, I don't think we're off track psychologically. I think we have to get better at the things that have been giving us problems. You know, you look back to Penn State, we had a hard time keeping the ball in front of us. Common denominator. Nebraska, turnovers. So it's really 2 things. Stopping dribble penetration and taking care of the ball. And, that has nothing to do with talent. That's a matter of, it's got to matter that much on the defensive end, and it's got to matter that much that we're taking care of the ball.
A lot of those things seem to arise so frequently on the road. Since Michigan State,
Yeah, I mean, if I had the answer for that, Mike, could bottle it and sell it. Why it happens sometimes. I mean, why do we go Sunday and have 5 turnovers, and today we're throwing it everywhere? So that's, again, that we'll break down the film, and I'll get a better look of how and why. But, and then it's just an accountability factor. You can't be that loose with the ball. So, and the ownership of that they are not going to turn it over. That's a personal pride thing. That's a team accepted responsibility. That if you want to be successful, here's a way that you can do it. And if you don't go that way, you're going to have trouble. You're going to make life really hard on yourself, which we did tonight.
It's easy to see, like, if McDaniel gets into the paint, if he gets past Chucky, he's getting nothing to the butt. There were some times where the help should have come.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't whether we were in a little bit of a drop coverage or we got rejected on some ball screens at times. We didn't force him to bodies. We didn't impact well enough and really change his momentum or his direction off the ball. We left and ran running back, tip it sometimes to a non-shooter and let the ball keep going downhill. So it's not just the guys that are guarding the ball. This is a team issue that we got to get fixed. And like I said, if I have to make some adjustments with how we're doing, we've switched some ball screen coverages. If I have to get some different bodies on the floor, I can understand that and understand how important getting the ball stopped is. We got to keep finding ways to get better. But this isn't a new thing, and you guys have been around us, know that this has been an Achilles heel of ours, here really this year. So we've got to continue to get better at it and consistently better at it.
What's the potential of what this team can do if might change when Stephen really doesn't get into it?
Yeah, he isn't. He's the fouls really got him out of rhythm. I felt, I thought he looked, let him get his first little win there in the first 3-4 minutes, and then I thought he settled in a little bit better. But like I said, it's hard to get in a rhythm when you pick up the 2 fouls, have to sit, that much in the first half, and sit a lot. You get the third, and the fourth. Have to sit for that long. It's just, and he hasn't been in a rhythm anyway in the last 2-3 games. So it's hard, for him to feel comfortable sitting that long and then having to come back in when he hasn't really had a momentum. We got to get him going, because that's been another common denominator here in the last 3 games. Is we got to get him playing to his potential. And tonight it was, you got to be on the floor in order to play to your potential. You can't be stuck over by me in foul trouble.
You guys were in the bonus, I think 10.5 minutes left in the first half. I'm guessing you would have liked more than 9 free throw attempts, and then you obviously called that quick timeout right after the media timeout, and they were up 9. Was the message stop settling and get to the rim, or that you guys
Right. Yeah. Attacking the rim and playing through the paint. There's a time when you can take the threes early, and there's a time not to. But I thought we were better than we've been, but not good enough. Yeah, the settling, there was a few, but there was less tonight, which the problem was the defensive inability to stop the ball and way too many turnovers given the number of possessions.
And then down 3, when Chucky took that 3-pointer, what were you guys looking to achieve on that set?
In the set, we brought Max off a little screen to begin with, and then that got taken away, so Chucky got stuck with the ball.
What were you looking for Marcus's minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he played, he's practiced well. You've heard me say that before. I wanted to get him in and get some minutes out of him. I thought he's done. John didn't practice for 2 days, so I didn't know if he was going to go tonight. So I wanted to, we mixed some lineups over the last 2 days, and Marcus was part of that, assuming that we might not have John tonight, and it was decided today he was going to go. So I thought he did. If there was anything that stood out one way or the other, keep working with him and helping him get better.
Greg, it's a long season, especially for freshmen. There's always questions when they're hitting the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Is Nolan just in a little slump right now offensively, or is he? He's having to guard some big bodies down there. Does that have an effect on the shooting?
I mean, sometimes I don't know if I'll have to look through the film if he got them all. Sometimes he shot them when he hasn't caught it clean, But the way I watch him shoot it in practice, and he open looks, the ball comes off well. I mean, he's getting a lot of experience here as a freshman, and probably more than I even anticipated he would get. So, that's a part of Steve being in foul trouble. Puts more pressure on Nolan to come in and play more minutes maybe than what he's exactly ready for, specifically against a bigger, more physical 5-man.
Part of the reason I asked about him is there was a possession late in the game down on your end where he got the ball, looked like a good score, didn't even look at the hoop, and I just wonder if that's his head.
Yeah, I mean, that's a freshman, too, going through all this for the first time, so.
Obviously, Chucky's role's been a little bit different as we talked about, like with facilitation. How important was it to see him get in rhythm a little bit, like you talked about?
Yeah, no, I thought he was better at attacking. I thought AJ settled less. No, it wasn't a perfect grade, but he settled less and he got in the paint more. There was progress with those two that we've continued to ask to get downhill, get in the paint. Again, it's the defensive component that got us beat tonight in the turnovers. So, but we got to take the good that there was a trend there with AJ and Chucky of attacking. We got to keep building off that. Point out the good that was better than what it's been over the last 2 games. But now defensively, we've got to continue to shore up, the areas there.
I'm sure you haven't had time to think about Rutgers yet, but I mean, they got the kid transfer back from Iowa State. You know how tough it is to win at that place.
Right.
How difficult do you think it might be to go in there and just play well and try to get
Well, we're going to, it's going to be a challenge. I mean, Rutgers is good. Steve does a really good job. They're going to play hard. It's a great turnaround for after tonight, because we'll get tested at another level in terms of, teams that come after us, a team that'll really get after you, specifically in the half court. And this is more about, I'm watching to see how we respond, regardless of opponent, because every team goes through some adversity in a season when things, wobble and we skid a little bit. How do you respond to it? And how do you grow and get better from it? So we got some positive things tonight in terms of a dribble attacking more, turnovers. Now we got to, get that fixed, and obviously defensively keeping the ball in front of us. So
you could do those 2 things, keep the ball in front of you and limit the turnovers. Do you think that's the best way to get a chance to win?
I think anywhere. I don't think it matters anywhere. If you turn the ball over and you're letting the ball get inside your the belly of your defense, you're asking for trouble. I mean, because then you end up with too many rotations and closeouts if you are getting it stopped too deep. Then you end up with wide open threes on rotations and closeouts. So we've got to get, I don't know if we've improved or it's just the same issue. You know, if we've took a step back or if it's just the same issue getting tested again with McDaniel specifically getting downhill on us.
Going back to the last couple of key moments, is it encouraging he is shooting for those misses?
Yeah, I mean, we need him to shoot it. I mean, he'll get better as time goes on and he gets experience. You know, I think the biggest thing with him, he's still figuring out the ball screen coverages, you know, and when to stay, when to get back, the angles of the hedges at times, those things, and obviously at times the physicalness of the rebounding, which isn't going to get fixed overnight. That's another year in the weight room. But no, I want him to stay aggressive offensively.